Whereas as a council member of the City of Maricopa, it is my privilege and responsibility to recognize causes and events that warrant our attention. And whereas National Fentanyl Prevention Awareness Day is recognized on August 21st each year in the city of Maricopa, Arizona. And whereas National Fentanyl Prevention Awareness Day is a day in remembrance of our loved ones that died from fentanyl poisoning and acknowledge the devastation this drug has brought to thousands of affected family members and raise public awareness about the people that are dying at alarming rates due to illegally made fentanyl, a dangerous synthetic opioid. And whereas fentanyl is involved in more deaths of Americans under 50 years than other causes, including heart disease, cancer, and other accidents. And whereas raising awareness of this illegally made drug is necessary to remove the stigma and to educate the public on this day and beyond. And whereas the City of Maricopa, recognizing all residents of the Maricopa community suffering from illegally made fentanyl, and offers the utmost consideration and support. And now, therefore, I, Amber Learman, council member of the City of Maricopa, do hereby proclaim August 21st as National Fentanyl Prevention Awareness Day in the City of Maricopa and call upon all residents to join in this special observation. I'd like to invite Lucinda Boyd with Streets Don't Love You Back to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, City Council members, for allowing this to happen here in the City of Maricopa. This is actually the first National Fentanyl Prevention and Awareness Day that will be observed every year on August 21st, beginning 2022. So we're thankful that Maricopa is right in there with them at the very first year. Fentanyl is the single deadliest drug threat our nation has ever encountered. Fentanyl is everywhere. From large metropolitan areas to rural America, no community is safe from this poison. We must take every opportunity to spread the word and prevent fentanyl-related poisoning and overdose deaths from claiming scores of American lives every day. We must stop the stigma, the stereotype, the drug user assumption, and misconceptions that fentanyl poisonings occur only with addicted users. Anyone can die. Most are not drug addicts. Fentanyl poisoning is real, and our children are dying. According to the CDC, 107,375 people in the United States died of drug overdoses and drug poisonings in the 12-month period ending January 2022. And 67% of those deaths involved synthetic opioids and fentanyl. Some of these deaths were attributed to fentanyl mixed with other illicit drugs, and many users are even unaware that they're taking fentanyl. Illicit fentanyl is 100 times more potent than morphine and 50 times stronger than heroin. Only 2 milligrams of fentanyl is considered a lethal dose, and that's about a few little grains of salt. Fentanyl poisoning is now the leading cause of death for adults aged 18 to 45 in the United States, surpassing suicide, gun violence, and car accidents. Fentanyl-related death occurs approximately every 9 minutes. The criminal drug networks are mass-producing fake pills and falsely marketing them as legitimate prescription pills to deceive the American public. Fake pills are easy to purchase, widely available, and often contain fentanyl or methamphetamines and can be deadly. Fake prescription pills are easily accessible and often sold on the social media and e-commerce platforms, making them available to anyone with a smartphone, including minors. Many fake pills are made to look like prescription opioids, such as OxyContin, Percocet, hydrocodone, which is Vicodin, and alprazolam, which is Xanax, or stimulants like methamphetamines or amphetamines, Adderall, and other medicines, and have been found in every state in our country. The criminal drug networks are harnessing the accessibility of social media to push the deadly drugs into our communities. Teens are now using emojis in a secret lingo to find illegal drugs on social media. Teen deaths are up 94% in 1 year, and enough fentanyl has been seized in the US in 1 year to kill 6.9 million people. Death by fentanyl is a form of suffocation. It shuts down your neuro and respiratory systems, and you can die in minutes or even seconds. In most cases, fentanyl poisoning appears very similar to opioid overdoses. However, atypical symptoms due to fentanyl have been reported, including immediate blue or gray lips, body stiffening or seizure-like activity, foaming at the mouth, and confusion before becoming unresponsive. Only one pill can kill. Talk to your families, educate your children and friends about not using medications from other people, prescribed or otherwise. Don't let your loved ones be the next picture on a billboard. And one of the pictures that I have showing up here was a Maricopa youth. Probably the very bottom picture is Maricopa High School football team back in 2007. Fentanyl is affecting Maricopa. Our newest death that I'm aware of was Lisa's son just 3 months ago here in Maricopa. Her son is on the wall of the DEA on a plaque, and he's also on multiple billboards. And she told me that's definitely not where I want to see pictures of my son, but I want to make an awareness. So on behalf tonight of, first and foremost, Zach Davis, who some of you long-termers from Maricopa may know him. He went to school out here, played football out here, and he passed away November 26th on 2020. He was having some troubles on some medications, and he checked himself into a men's home to get help. And little did we find out that they were getting pills from the outside as well. And on November 26, 2020, he made Thanksgiving dinner for the whole house of men. I think there were 6. He took a picture with them all. They had Thanksgiving dinner. He sent nice messages to all the family members. And that evening, he was found having those seizure-like respiratory issues and was taken to the hospital dead on arrival. This is my daughter-in-law's brother. He went to school with my boys. He lived with me for several years. And if it hasn't been close to your door yet, it will be soon. You better beware and educate your children, your family members. It's happening to the elderly. It's happening to so many people. We thank everybody for your time, and I'm going to introduce Lisa Tyler and her family if they want to come up. She just lost her son 3 months ago, May 10th, due to fentanyl poisoning. And after Lisa's done, we're going to have Sheriff Lamb come up and share some things.
Thank you. I'm not really here to share statistics with you guys. This is my son. His name's Tyler. He was 27 years old. I'm here to make awareness because I don't want anybody to have the pain that I go through. I found my son on May 10th at 3 p.m. in his bed. If you guys don't educate yourself and your family, this is what you'll be doing. You'll either be at a cemetery or you'll be holding an urn with a funeral. This is my son's birth certificate, and this is his death certificate. My son's birthday is coming up. It's on September 2nd. I don't know how I'm going to deal with that. I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. I don't know how I deal every day. This is a terrible drug. I've heard about it. I didn't really know a lot about it. I know I got the toxicology report, and it wasn't a lot in his system. It was very little, very, very little. They're putting it in everything, even marijuana. It's in everything, Tylenol, everything. You need to educate yourself, educate your kids. Don't take stuff from strangers. Don't take stuff from anybody. Or I promise you, like I told Lucinda, the day my son was born, I kissed him and I sang, "You Are My Sunshine." On May 10th, I leaned over his body and I kissed him and I told him, "You are my sunshine." On May 24th, as he laid in a casket, I kissed my son for the last time and saying, "You are my sunshine." I was the first one to hold him and I was the last one. He'll never get a chance to marry, have children, finish school. His life was ended that quick. And in the meantime, it destroyed my entire family. My kids will never, ever have the parents back that they had. My husband will never have his wife back. So just please, please, please pay attention. These social medias, they literally deliver it to their door. And they use emojis, is what they're using on Snapchat. So, like I said, I'm not here to give statistics. That's what they're for. But I would like to go out into the schools, and I want to educate the schools and the kids. So, but that's all I really have to say. And this is my husband and my daughter, and Kayla and my daughter, Tristan.
My heart goes out to the Tyler family for the loss of their son, Tyler Champagne. This is happening way too often. What do I say as a sheriff when I show up to their house? Or what does the chief say when we show up to their house? That we didn't stop it? That we could have stopped it, but we didn't stop it? I have to deal with this on a daily basis. We last year we typically have about 750, which is on the rise, I don't want to say overdoses, poisonings, every year. Now, fortunately, not everybody dies in our county, but enough people die, for example, Tyler, that it should cause us an alarm. In Arizona, there's been 33 children die from fentanyl, 7 of them under the age of 1. That alone should wake us up. I'm grateful to Lucinda and Rob for doing this, and especially to the city of Maricopa and the city council for recognizing a problem that exists and not being afraid to address it. When this becomes the leading cause of death in America, over 100,000 American civilian lives lost in a year, this should be at the front page of every newspaper, every news station, and every politician's mouth. But unfortunately, it's not. It's going unspoken of. And yet it's left for us to clean up the mess. Just to give you an idea what kind of impact it's having here in your county, the Pinal County Sheriff's Office, just us alone, in 2018, we had 0 M30 fentanyl pill seizures. The cartel's punching them out into pills. You know why? Because they know that there's a stigma with putting a needle in your arm or in your feet. But they know, what do we do as Americans? We take pills. We always have. And so they produce this pill that they sell, by the way, for between 50 cents and $2 a pill. So if your child takes $20 from your wallet, they could potentially buy anywhere from 10 to 20 pills, maybe even more. In 2018, we had 0 M30 fentanyl pill seizures. In 2019, we had 677 pills. In 2020, we had 220,000 pills. And last year, we had over 1.2 million fentanyl pills that we seized here at the Sheriff's Office. On one traffic stop this year, hidden in 3 trays of food. We found 227,000 pills in one traffic stop. The city of Casa Grande found 500,000 pills in one drug bust. The DEA tests those. 40% of all of these doses are lethal doses. We have to wake up as a society if we're going to fix this. It doesn't just start with the law enforcement piece, it starts with the communities. I can tell you we've received large grants to be putting reentry program stuff in place so that as people are leaving our jail, actually before they come to our jail, we catch the addicted people and the mental health crisis. We catch that on the front end. If we don't, we're going to catch it on the back end and help these folks out, reentry, get them back into society and hopefully keep them from being. But we can't keep mopping up the floor without turning off the faucet. Any one of you wants to talk to me, I'll tell you exactly where these drugs come from. They come from the cartels in Mexico that are pushing them across at unprecedented rates, and we are the victims of this crisis. We must start speaking about the true thing that's affecting American people, which is fentanyl. It's the leading cause of death. We can't keep lining up families like the Tyler family up here and tell them we're sorry, but that we continue to not do anything about it. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart to any of you who have a family member that suffers from addiction, that suffers from fentanyl, that maybe have lost a loved one, especially to the Tyler family for the loss of their son Tyler, prayers to them. My heart goes out to them. And I fight every day to do what I can to stop, and I'm appreciative of all the help we get from your chief. Fantastic partner, and from the city. I told him I wouldn't talk very long, and I broke my rule. I'm a politician. What are you going to say? But I just want to thank you, the folks, for showing up here. I can see in your faces this bothers you as well. The only way we get through this is as a community working together and just realizing the impact it's having on lives. And frankly, I told this family earlier, I said, we don't fix this until the families who are affected tell their stories. And that's the only way that our politicians and our media are going to start to really feel the impact that we're feeling in our community. So thank you again for this proclamation. Thank you for giving me time. And thank you for sharing your story. And let's hope we make changes on behalf of not just your son, but all of the lost lives out there.
The Tyler family has left some little gift bags for each of you and some pamphlets with information. You can also go to the DEA.gov, or you can check out our website at thestreetsdon'tloveyback.com, and there's a lot of information on both websites. Thank you for listening.